Chilling with the champs. Chilling with the champs.
Please.
Yes, with the fits. I love the fits right now.
What's up, guys?
Thank you.
Welcome. You are all welcome to Chilling with the Champs. This is Detalx, and we back. It's the young boy Sam.
Who's chill? Who's for real? Who you feel? Chillin' with the champ. Who's fair? Who's not? Who pops the bill? Chillin' with the champ. Stepping up, might pop in your ear. Chillin' with the champ. Who's here? Who's there? Who gets the deal? Chillin' with the champ. Who's chill? Who's for real? Who you feel? Chillin' with the champ. Who's fair? Who's not? Who pops the bill? Chillin' with the champ. Stepping up, might pop in your ear. Chillin' with the champ. Who's here? Who's there? Who gets the deal? Chillin' with the champ.
Back for more.
I'm loving my hair, by the way.
Yeah, I love your hair
hair's
too.
fierce.
Yes.
I'm bringing the
It's
natural.
It's
I love when you bring the all natural.
giving ancestor.
Yeah, speaking of being natural, you know,
Gosh.
I was just thinking like we were at an event yesterday with the family party, and it was nice just seeing everybody really interact with each other and engage with each other in that kind of way, in that family setting. And I think our family, we do that well. We get amongst it, and it kind of made me think about going to events, because we do get invited to a lot of events and outings as a family.
Yeah.
Sometimes together, sometimes individually, and it makes me think about kind of the vibe at events, and how it's changed over the years through time with the introduction of social media, that kind of thing. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like the vibe and the interaction between people has kind of like changed a little bit
yeah.
because of that. And what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, like yesterday, the gathering that we were at, it felt great because I actually felt like we were all in the same room. Maybe because it was cold.
Yeah.
But we were all together. We were all having conversation, seeing the kids dancing
I know,
and
that
showing
was
us
so
that thing.
cute.
And what was
Yes.
interesting is none of us had our phones.
Yes.
I mean, one grandparent would have had it.
Yeah,
But
or like
it was so cool that we didn't, and we weren't doing the most like we normally do, like the bus stop and this and that
Yeah,
and that,
yeah.
and photos here and there. It just
Yeah.
was really nice that we were all present, and that felt good. But I feel like a lot of that has been missing.
It has. I really feel like it has. I've been to like a few events, gatherings as of late, and as soon as you walk in, you're like, I actually much preferred how I got here. I actually enjoyed getting here rather than being here.
Yeah.
No, because I think the energy feels really, it doesn't feel all inclusive.
Yeah.
And the general consensus I've gauged from being at these events is that when you do end up speaking to somebody and things like that, you both kind of ask each other the same questions, like, are you enjoying this? Or like, what's your thoughts on this? Because, I don't know, like, I feel like we went to an event recently and we walked in and it was cool, but it felt like when we would laugh, a camera person would come over and be like, and like we'd walk away and
then
we were
run
like,
away.
oh, and then I had to feel like every time we had to be like,
That's so true.
Yeah.
catch the pic. Like I felt like the event was more for the socials rather than what we were actually doing as the
100%.
people
The
within the
networking.
event.
It was
Yeah,
more
like I didn't feel
networking.
like anyone networked. And usually these events are for networking. Like it's meant to be like, what's your vibe? And I want to know why you're here and what you're doing and things like that. But everyone felt a bit like, Rome said it perfectly, like an aura contest. Like the people who were there were like,
But I guess does the event, does it come down to the people and how the people
was
are
just
acting
about
at the
to
event,
say-
or does it come down
No,
to
I think
actually
it's-
what is being provided
provided.
at the event?
The invitees, like who's invited, I think also matters. It almost, like, to me, the event organizers aren't really the problem. It's almost the people that are in the event that therefore I said it was like an oral competition just
Yeah.
because like the people are so tight, and like I feel like people nowadays don't come to events for networking or to just talk and have a conversation, but just to come for the free drinks and free food and
It's just
and
to
just
show
to have your
face.
one flick and out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then
Yeah.
you leave
Yeah,
it,
like it feels very materialistic.
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it?
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
That's
mean?
the right
Like
word.
fake.
Yeah, yeah.
Feels
So it's
very
more
like
about the
fake
content
news.
than
Then
the
Yeah.
actual experience. And that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, now I'm sounding old. Like back in the day,
Yes.
when we went out to events or you got invited to something really cool,
Yeah.
it was the experience. And we didn't have social media. We didn't have hashtags.
How
we
did
didn't
you
have.
get to the event?
They got
Via
to the event
dinosaur?
via via dinosaur.
Mom was like,
Carpool, man. You carpool.
Mom was like, I'm taking the
Hop on.
pterodactyl. What are you?
What's
Nah,
what was
oh,
that
nah, you
night
can't
train?
put
What
it back
was the night train that we were on? What the
Trey,
night bus?
how did you
I didn't catch the
actually?
night bus.
I didn't
I
do
How
that.
did you
Camel
get the
down.
contact? By the way, how did you get the invite?
Oh my gosh.
How did we get the
Via
contact?
bird, via pigeon,
Smoke
you
signal.
just-
smoke signal.
Nah, you know what? It was better because it was community and like it was just by word of mouth, really. You know, like
Yeah.
if you got invited to things, it was like because you knew someone or someone knew you, and it wasn't so much about how big your following was or whatever. It was more like community. Like that person's cool. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
so we want them to come.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
And
So-
it was an experience. Like it was something that's related to what we would do, right? So dancer
Yeah.
get invited to something that's based around that.
Yeah.
Like you'd have things happening that got you inspired and got you speaking about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you almost felt whoever put the events together really wanted whoever they invited to feel like
Right.
you were something, you were
Yeah.
someone, there's
Yeah.
a reason you got invited.
Yeah.
It was just really, it was an experience.
And you're-
It was well thought out, like
Yeah.
what was happening there, and you didn't want to leave.
And I also felt like
Wow.
you didn't. It's like you didn't know who was gonna be there. Whereas like nowadays,
Yeah.
every event has the same people because you just feel like, okay, if they're popping off on social media, they're gonna be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I also think like I don't actually think it's about who. Okay, yes, I agree. It's who you invite, but I think sometimes the people creating the event, they need to understand that they have to create a vibe so that, especially for our generation, I don't think this could really. Maybe, I don't know. But I think some of us have vibes and some of us don't. Like, it can be really standoffish. Like, people, and maybe I'm considered one of those people, I don't know. But when we go to events and things like that, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, like, this feels really like, how do we get down? And then, so I just feel like it's the event in itself. Like, if you're going to have an event, maybe try like the whole no one can bring their phone in. We will take the footage, we will take the pictures, and let's see how you all make like this has to be something where you all interact. Like here's live
Don't bring the
music,
phone in.
or
That
no,
seems
meaning
control-
no, because you know what? When I went clubbing in Germany,
Yeah.
you're not allowed your phone.
That's crazy.
And I had some of the best nights out with my girlfriends because you don't have anything to pull out and you have to socialize. You have to talk to people. You have to be like, all right, I'm going to dance. I'm going to look a fool.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink with my friends. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Where I feel like now we're all protected by something.
And that's exactly
when you
how,
go to
yeah.
events and things like that. Which, okay, maybe that's the people who you invite or the event. I don't know. But I feel like everyone's kind of responsible when they go to an event. It's like
For
you
sure.
need to turn up with a good vibe
Yeah.
and the event needs to have a good vibe. Because
Yeah.
the events I've been to, I'm like I said, like they catch you laugh once, they're like, and then you're like, oh, all right. And then it's like, all right, then they're like watching everybody. And then it's like they see someone like, or like they
Yeah.
see someone cool, it's like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, that's it. And then everyone's just standing there. Everyone's just looking at
Everyone's
each
just
other.
like,
it's
yeah,
weird. It's like
it's-
a pissing contest in a
very
way.
So what's
weird.
presented is not actually what's going on.
What's going on?
Yeah, and I feel like with your gen too, you guys are really like, we're just we're just gonna go to this thing for 1 hour and then we're gonna dip
We're
just to show
yeah.
just to show face.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
like we're
that's
going.
what I think.
Yeah.
it
Whereas
is
like we used to go
nowadays.
and be like, this is where we're going.
Yes.
And I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going somewhere else, it's later, like later.
Yes.
Like maybe like
Yes.
midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning. We're going somewhere else after. But yeah, you
But
guys
you
are like,
always
I'm
felt
just
like
going here for an hour. And
You
then
always
I'm
felt
out.
like
Yeah, yeah,
after
yeah.
the event, you go to this, private event,
Yeah.
whatever, invited event, and then everyone from that event
Just
is like,
kicking
where are
on.
you going?
Yeah,
Where are you
yeah,
going?
yeah.
Which-
Even though you didn't know
Yes.
these people,
Yes.
you're like, where are you guys
Yes.
all heading to?
Yes.
Da, da, da. And then we
Yeah.
all
That's
go,
cool.
and that's kind of like how we networked.
Yeah.
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 And we made connections
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
started new
Yeah.
friendships and communities and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I also-
the thing I like
yeah.
about the events you guys go to right now, I mean, we get invited as well, is the free food and drinks. We didn't have that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, absolutely. The free
Nah,
food
that's
and
the
drinks,
best
I'm
thing.
like, kick it off. I'll
That's
be
definitely
The fact that
Amen.
that's an
you
accessibility.
just got invited for us was like, shit, this is a vibe.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Hold on.
Yeah, Mike is tapping in.
Oh, come on, girl.
I've been listening to all of you, and like, at least you're invited to the event. Like me, who's up here, just chilling, not doing anything,
Yeah.
and I see you guys Instagram having fun, free drinks, free food and everything. Like at least you're invited.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
True that, Mike.
We're sounding ungrateful right now.
Yes,
Yes,
you
yeah.
are.
I
Get
think
there
they
one
should
day.
have like an event for you. Like someone should invite you to an event. I think you'd pop off.
Yes.
TikTok
I'll-
awards.
Or will you?
Oh, you guys will be in corners doing
TikTok
TikToks.
awards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
socializing. But then again, lately the experiences have died in the ass. The feeling has like these events for us was where we learned how to get down.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
learned how to turn up to the next event.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know who was going to be there, but then you'd rock up to the event and you'd be like, "Shit, that's a fly outfit. Like that
Yes.
person came correct
Yeah, yeah.
with the fit."
Yeah.
So it makes you go. It gets you inspired. Like the next one I'm pulling up in.
Yes.
I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is like,
Yeah.
I want to connect with that person the next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Or, but yeah, I felt like there was more experience. And just for us, we used to run a night, right?
Mm.
When we first ran, we ran
The
so many nights.
OGs.
Therapy Thursdays, Swank. And we created this culture where we got free pizzas.
Mm.
The beginning of the night was like everyone was in one room. We all ate together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free, it wasn't your fancy walk around little.
I know, those are so like.
It wasn't.
you.
It wasn't
It was
bougie.
like-
Definitely wasn't bougie.
It was like pizzas on tables, so that meant that you had to go to someone else's table and have a
take a peek.
conversation.
Yeah.
Sit, and then from there, everyone would move up to the main room, and we'd have like a live band experience. So
Yeah.
that meant that like the band is vibing with you.
Yeah.
You're vibing with someone else. We also did these like call out dances where we'd say, "All right, grab someone,"
Yeah.
and then you dance with someone. And there was no jealousy. We were just like,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
be cool,
yeah,
even
yeah.
if you came with your man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you gotta be cool with this. If you want to be
yeah, but
down,
how are you dancing? Like this?
Ah, you just dance. So you would dance, and then we'd go switch. And then you got to like switch to the
Switch
next
to the
person
next
real
person.
quick, and
Yeah.
you dance, and
To
you
be
switch.
fair, I
Yeah.
feel like I can like back you up here, but don't take this and run with it after
Okay.
this conversation. Can't give these people a compliment these days. No. But when I have partied with you guys and like your friends and aunties and uncles, like I do have the most fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually have fun. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
party,
yeah.
and I don't usually have that much fun. Like my friend group is fun, but like, say if like it's not always the way that you guys party, and I feel like it's so different. Like I remember being Micah's age, watching like seeing Facebook posts because I don't think Instagram was like a big thing back then, and I'd be like, gosh, I can't wait to like go to a swank night or something like that, and then I go to these parties with you, and they're still like. They're not boring. They're quite like I feel like your gen really brings the energy and the vibes. Where like I remember we
know
went to
how to
that
get
boat
down.
party
yeah.
and your event was prior on the boat, and then I
Yes.
got back on the boat for another event, and I was like, take me back on the first boat. Like the oldies were having a
OGs.
ball, and we're
Get
here
out fun.
like literally aura contest.
Yeah, it kind of blows my
It
mind
was
like,
just like
with you guys.
oh, boo, 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 boo.
It blows my mind that, like, say Rome, you just turned 18 and I rarely see you go out.
Yeah.
Like, I rarely
So
see you go, and sometimes I'm like, don't you want to go out with your friends?
Dad's dying from the
Like, we want you to
You
come home
know?
at 4.
But I'm like, what is it, man? Like, what's missing that
It's
you don't
not-
want to go out?
I
It's
don't
just
know.
there's no vibe, there's no community. I really believe that. I feel like we are, I think because we have our phones and it's a very protective thing, like we instantly feel awkward. It instantly feels like if someone was to come in and be like extravaganza, it's almost like we all were taught how to have tall poppy syndrome, where it's like one person shines and then it's like it's too much.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
almost like we're like, no, and then you
Yeah.
all have to stay a certain way and be like,
Be steady.
yeah, like look at this person, look at that person. And
Yeah.
I will admit, I've been someone who has like stood there and been like, but then I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Like you're doing what you're all doing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So
it's-
it is, I do
very
feel like
much
you
that.
have the odd few that are the ones that are like, we're going to walk in and we're going to be loud and we're going to own this event. And then the rest of the event is just like,
Yeah.
And like some events split you up, like split the cultures up in the sense of like, there will be like a hip hop room and then a techno room. And then it's like, you can hang out with your respective groups and it's the same event, but two completely different vibes. And I'm like, how is that meant to?
Why is that even a
Why?
thing?
Like,
Yeah.
just like, let's all be in there. Let's
Yeah.
all just fucking be down and dirty with each other and just be like, I have to talk to you. We've got free
Facts.
drinks and free food. Like, we might as well have a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too many events and
Yeah.
things like that, brands, whatever, they lead with content community rather than actual community. And you can really see that. And sometimes it's really great. And I think promotion is really cool. Like the pictures that come out of it, I'm like, that's dope. They had great photographers and it's so cool.
Feels
But
And
some-
also from a brand perspective, it's almost like we want to reach your
Your-
audience.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
fair.
Which is a 100%.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
And like, yeah, it's
But
dope
I
content.
think,
but
I think where it stops is the conversation after. If you
After,
haven't got me
yes.
speaking after,
Yes,
if
yes.
you haven't got me like, oh my gosh, it was
Yes.
the dopest, like
Yes.
this happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's still, that is the part where you want us to talk
Yes,
about it. Or
and you
you
want
that
me to
feeling.
rave
Yeah.
naturally,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
just put
Yeah.
content on the page because
Yeah.
you invited me and I have to.
To,
It's
yeah.
almost like I want to talk about how
Yes.
I got to experience it.
Yes, 100%.
You know, and so
100%.
I get you. I get it from a brand's perspective, but I
Yeah.
also get that we're missing the inspirational part. And this is
Yes.
what I'm saying. Like
Yes. Yeah.
we now, even from us clubbing, like I went clubbing very young.
Yeah, illegal.
Illegal clubbing. But now when we run events, my mind is still there.
And it should be because it's
It's still
yes,
there because
yeah.
it's like when we went to a very elite car brand event party.
Did.
And
Shout out Rome, you there.
Oh, yeah.
right before
yeah, yeah.
we
Oh,
got
true,
invited,
yes.
just
So,
quick
yes.
story. And
Yes.
obviously it was very uppity,
Yes,
right?
very,
It was
yeah.
straight after work. You had people in their suits. And Lex came with me. She was my +1 and Chica.
And we look classy.
We
as
looked
hell.
classy,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh no, we can't be standing here. Like, there's a great DJ. You've got a good DJ
A
on
great
deck.
DJ.
And we all just standing here looking at each other in our suits. And straight away, we started the bus stop.
Yeah.
We ended up
Which
doing.
I
They're
would never
lucky. They
We did the
are
Soul
lucky They had
Train.
dancers there.
Truly,
because I genuinely feel like everyone outside of dance that just get invited to these events are the ones that are uppity. And I
Yeah.
feel like dancers just know how
Dancers
to
do
Yeah,
have
and
vibe.
even the
know how to start
uppity
it.
were all up in
The
there.
uppity
That-
were
and it
up.
makes
They were
sense,
having
yeah.
a vibe. They were having a vibe. The DJ loved that we were hyping their set. It was almost
Yes.
this collaboration to the point that we were communicating, connecting,
Yeah.
networking with the uppities.
Yeah.
And when they
The
found out what we
uppities.
did,
Uppity.
Shout out
they
to
found out
Uppity.
to the uppity.
the uppities that know how to get down.
Yeah, we love you.
It like that's where networking, and
Yes.
I think I even still saved someone's number.
We
like
did.
what his role was so uppity.
Yeah.
Compared to what I do, and it was just all this like,
it
oh my
was.
gosh, like
Yes.
shit. When you have this event, let us know and da 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 da. I think
so
was, whoever's
yeah.
organizing or whatever. So
Yeah.
you got hair on you.
Continue to invite us.
It doesn't matter. We could still.
We'll turn it up.
Yeah.
There could still be this connection. I just think, and we're not just talking brand events.
No,
I'm just talking
just
overall,
events.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Parties, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people miss the idea of the experience and the feeling
Absolutely.
for the guests.
Yeah.
Exactly,
I love
yeah.
hearing about events where it's like, I'm going to remember this forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak about it for 6 years after and be like, do you remember when we did this?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
So-
Yeah.
to be honest, like
Girl, you will get there.
even when I do get like there was one time when I did go to an event
Ooh.
Which one?
and
Do you want to name it?
Which
Nah, I
event
don't
was
even
it?
remember. But it was like ages ago, and I
Yes.
remember telling Mum, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm at my first club," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know what it feels like
Was
to
that
be
the
an
Skechers
adult."
event? It wasn't the Skechers one.
I don't know.
Nah.
She
I
got
don't know.
Some
wasted
event.
off water.
Some event.
No, oh, you've been to
Some-
a few
Yeah,
events,
you've
but
been
to
to a
her it
few.
was like, oh, this is a clubbing,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
funny.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want, just for the vibes and the experience and the feeling. I feel like that's the most important.
No. I also think like as much as it is the event, I'm still sticking to the people. I really
Yeah.
think
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
the people do matter. Like who's invited, it does matter.
Yeah.
I really think like people have the wrong idea of events and going to these events. And
Yeah.
they just think it's to look cool. It's a lot about the socials nowadays.
Yeah.
The aura,
The image,
the
yeah,
image,
yeah.
what they're gonna look
Yeah.
like.
You're right.
Like they probably continuously get invited to these
Yeah,
events so
100%.
much
That's
that
the
they're
thing
so
I
like.
Yes.
It's almost like an obligation.
It's almost
Yeah.
like I got invited, so that's enough.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's enough.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
And
yeah.
it's like you have a responsibility turning
Yeah.
up to these events. Like
Yeah.
even like sometimes I just like Rome's like, do you want to be my +1? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. And then Rome's like, thank gosh you came.
Yeah.
'Cause you're
I'm like,
amazing.
bruh,
I'm a party star.
I don't care. I really don't care who's at these events. I'm thinking about how am I gonna start a bus stop and get
Yes,
all of these
yes,
people to
yes,
fucking do
yeah,
it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the amount
And
of
it's
times I
awkward.
have done that at an event, I wasn't even invited. I was either working at the event,
yeah.
I still got the shit
Yeah,
popping up. Like
And then we
I don't
walk off
care. And then we go off.
like we did our job.
And
yeah,
then boom,
yeah,
that's our
exactly.
job.
But you're right. You're
Yes.
so
Pay
right.
us to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
The
Pay
party
us to
starts.
do the
and
bus
start your
stop at
party.
your event.
Yeah. But I agree, it is the people who go, you can't just think, oh, because I'm here. Like, also, I find, sorry, we're going a bit off here, but in Australia,
Australia.
sometimes our
Australia.
energy is a bit like, where I see events in America, and I'm sure everyone in their own countries feels their own way towards their events, but I sometimes look at overseas and I'm like, there is a community there, and yeah, it might probably still feel the same. Like we might all have something in common, but I
Yeah.
just see vibes there and experiences
Yeah,
at
yeah.
times, and I can see groups and communities and things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes here I'm like, oh,
It's a
it
bit
just
like,
feels
oh.
really like,
No, straight
Yeah.
up. Like
know?
to
Yeah.
piggyback off that, honestly, when we were in South
South
Africa,
Africa, I was gonna
Yeah.
bring
we
it
went
up.
to an event in South Africa and it just felt like that.
Yeah,
It felt
that
like
would've been
everyone was like including each other.
So
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
You know, even us as coming as foreigners, you know, we felt so included
yeah.
in the feeling and the aura of the event because
Yeah.
people were just, it's like they would pay attention to one another, and you know, if they see you enjoying yourself, they'll make sure that you enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
You know
yes.
what I
That's
mean?
why I don't
Yeah.
go out here.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
exactly why I don't go out here.
Yeah.
Ever since I've gone out there, it's just like
Shout out
there's
to
nothing
SA.
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
over there.
Overseas.
Yeah.
And you're like in South Africa, yeah, it's that inclusive, but I'm gonna go back to the inspiring part. And you talk about your guests playing the part. Everyone there was dressed to the nines. And it wasn't like I'm better than you. It was
Yeah.
almost like man, let's share our creativity.
Yeah.
Let's
So
share.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do it. We're talking a lot. We should probably do
I know
an
the viewers are
event.
probably
We
going to be
should probably
like, we
start
want to see
our
your
Like,
own
event.
let's see
Yeah,
yours.
true. You should
But,
come and see our event.
I wanted to ask you, and I'm sure you were about to ask this. Do you though think you participate? Like, do you step up to the plate? And are you? Okay, you already
not a
said you were a
question.
starter.
That's not even-
But are you someone that would go up to someone randomly and network?
I'm definitely not someone that will go up to someone, try to network, try to speak. But if it's a party, like I will be in the party vibe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like I
Bring the
will.
good energy.
If no one's dancing, I'm happy to just like dance by myself, get a drink. You know, create some kind of aura around myself that might,
Okay.
you know,
Lex,
spread
what
out.
are you?
I am somebody, I'm a mix between the two. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just bringing the good energy. Other times I'm like, I will engage. And then other times I'm like, what the hell?
What the hell? are you-
What the hell?
What the hell is
gonna
going
take?
on here? I'm getting out of here. No, I do.
Well, but would you walk up into someone and say, "Hey, I'm Lexus. What do you do?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I feel like I have done that. But there are times where I'm just like, I'd rather bring the energy than walk up to someone and they're like, hey, because I have had moments where I've been like, hey, how are you? And they're like, hi. And you're like,
Yeah. I pick and I do that too. I think I
Yeah.
pick and choose.
Yeah, I
who
do
I'm
pick
going
and
to.
choose. But
Yeah.
I am, if someone looked open, I'd be like,
Exactly.
You look, and I'm always
Yeah.
someone to give a compliment.
Oh, you look
I'll always
open.
start with a compliment, or I'll be just to gauge what their vibe
Yeah,
is. So I'll
yeah,
always be like,
yeah.
you look really cool, or da da da, and just see where it's going. And if they're like, I'm kind of like, okay, see you
Yeah.
later.
What about you, Mike's? Are you a party starter? Are you a stand back against the wall kind
Yeah,
of
girl,
person,
what
or
are
would
you?
you actually go up to someone like your age, not an adult, but
Yeah.
your age, and go, "Hi, what do you do?"
Like even that, I don't go to events, but
But let's say at like a
That's-
party
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
you invited.
it kind of it depends on like the people.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I will also be like Lexus, like I'll give them like a compliment and I'll be like, oh, you look so beautiful today, or
Yeah.
something like that.
right.
Yeah.
But I'll also be like a bit shy.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And if I know that person, I'll be like, oh, hey, girl. Like, you know, I'll talk to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
And would
yeah.
you start the dance floor if the vibes is right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really think, like, when it comes to these events, I really do think also music, like, matters. Just
Oh.
thinking
Yeah,
about
it depends
this,
on the
music matters
Shit,
so
yes.
much.
Yes.
Like, I really
It
think
does.
music is,
Yes.
like, probably the one thing that can start a whole
Yeah, it can
conversation.
connect everybody.
Can connect everybody.
Do you think live music, or do you think
Like a
a
live
good
band.
DJ? Yeah.
Oh,
A
a good
good
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah, for sure.
Live
A good
music
DJ.
is dope. It is really dope. Live
do you
music
find
is
yourself
dope.
standing?
But I feel like then we all just stand.
Yeah, 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 and
people
watch
want to
and
respect the
gaze.
artist, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more just like we'll groove to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than we'll groove with each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
And
yeah.
some events require grooving with each
With
other
each
rather
other.
than the other.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I respect both. But at certain events and clubs,
Yeah.
DJing is like when there's a good DJ and good
There's
music.
Yeah, man.
Do you think then the DJ or the music choice or whatever has to also play the part?
No, this is what I think. I
Okay.
think when you hire a DJ, you as an event, whatever, or whoever's in
Yes,
charge of
promoter,
the club or
blah,
whatever, you need to understand what music is
For the
for the audience.
Yes.
And if you like, especially even if you have no idea, say if you're into classical but you're doing like a hip hop event, I
know
would
what
be
you
like, you have to do your research with the DJ.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
like weddings would do it. People who have
Yeah.
DJs at weddings are like, these are the songs my crowd will want, and I
Yes.
need you to play that.
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
wait, I'll
Okay.
speak on that.
Oh my God,
No,
arrest
I'll
me.
speak on that because sometimes the person that's organizing the event has a certain taste in music that they think the crowd will
Right.
vibe,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's not always the case. So
Yeah.
a lot of the
That's-
time, it really comes down to the DJ or the person providing the music knowing what's going to work for the crowd and using
True.
their experience.
fair.
True.
Using their experience in knowing what's going to work for the crowd. So it's also when you are in that position and you're there at the party and you're doing it, you can't stick to what you know as a DJ and what you like as a
What you
DJ
like.
or what you like as a
True.
performer. You have to watch the room.
Yeah.
Like that person has to be take the responsibility to watch the room and see how people are engaging with each other
Yeah.
from what you're playing.
Yeah, I
You know, what
agree.
you're
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
you know?
kind of
Yeah.
what I was trying to say. Like
Yeah.
it should. Yeah, someone needs to be responsible
Definitely,
of that. Yeah.
definitely. It's a balance between actually the art of like DJing or playing live music and
Yeah.
curating. You have to be able to do both in the same.
It almost makes me think that maybe events need to have party starters. Like
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
they
that should be
should
a job.
hire. That's it.
Should be a
That's a
job.
business. I think I'm going to start that where
Party starters.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because-
No, I don't know. No.
I feel
like
like
what?
you
About
might
that.
maybe
Hire us,
Because it was just
Hire us.
and we'll
You know
be
what I
like,
mean?
It just sounds like in everything
That
we've
sounds
just
tiring.
spoken about, everyone has a responsibility.
Okay.
good chat.
yeah,
like
man,
it.
this is a good chat. I mean, okay,
Hire
wait.
us. Also hire us if you need people to help you create an event, because clearly.
But wait,
We
before
have
we
Start an
opinions.
event.
okay, before
Start
we
the
jump
party.
off,
Especially me.
let's say, let's all state one thing that you want to see at the next event that you go to. Okay.
Okay, I've
So-
got one. Can I start it off? Can I start it off?
Do it like fast round.
Yeah, chilling with the champs needs to be at your
Yes, they need to be all at all the damn events. And invite Micah too.
Put me on the
Yes.
goddamn list.
And
Yes,
me, and
make it
me,
kid-friendly.
and me.
Ah,
Go.
I said and me.
Yes, Mike
Is that it? I want to see more. Just literally start a conversation with start a random conversation with a random. Just letting go of all ego and have
ego.
no expectations.
Definitely,
please.
like the no phones thing,
Yeah.
like what Lexus was talking about
Event creator.
yeah. What you were saying happens in Germany. I would love to
Crazy.
Yes.
see that at an event,
Stays in
and you
Germany.
just there's gonna be footage captured from the people that are organizing the events, and it's gonna be the right footage. But I think people having no phones at an event, would that'd be really that'd be dope. That'd be a
love
vibe.
that.
I feel
If
like we
someone
didn't.
was
That's
like-
I feel like that's why when
That's
we were
why,
partying back in clubbing
100%.
days,
Yeah.
we didn't have iPhones, so like
Yeah.
we weren't concerned
It's a
about
shame,
our
but
you
phones.
couldn't bring
yes.
a brick.
We were
You
just
obviously
concerned
couldn't
about
bring
the
that-
vibe and
the
interacting
brick.
with people, and that's what
But even
going
for
out is
us,
about,
that
you know?
would feel like an experience.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't bring my phone out, so let's see where
Yeah.
they like.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, it's cool.
Mike's, anything.
Come on.
She said her.
Just
Myself.
invite you. Okay, cool.
But what if it's an over 18s event?
What are you
Still
gonna
invited.
do? Just have it on the list at least.
Yeah, have me on the list, please.
Please.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let us know, and you might see an event coming from Chilling with the Champs soon. So now we've put big expectation on ourselves. So if we are throwing an event,
Big talk.
make sure you turn up.
Might have to,
And thank you for
Yeah.
tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Chilling with the Champs. Detox.
Subscribe, follow TikTok.
Shut it
Peace. We love you.
All the things.
Peace.